Hi, everybody. It's great to be here today. I'm putting my testimony today into a little behind the scenes kind of backstory on the Journey Collection series. So this might be run a little longer than usual, more than 15 minutes or more than 10 minutes probably. It all depends here. So I started my writing career several years ago, and I went through a lot of misguided direction in my life, and this really symbolizes or pretty much goes with my testimonial videos, because like I said in previous testimonies, I'm happier than I've ever been in my life. I have a sense of direction. I have a sense of where I'm going in my life, and I also know what I want to do. Whereas 20 years ago, I didn't have that. 20 years ago, I did not have that sense of direction. I did not have any plans. I didn't have any goals. And I was reflecting on this last night when I was, writing and doing some things, some business, some of my book stuff on online, and it got me thinking uh, where I was then as to where I am now. It really has come full circle for me, and where the journey has taken me at this point, and it just keeps on um, changing, and having that direction now in my life, having the purpose and the will to keep moving along and keep pushing forward. It it really, like I said, it's full circle, and having the right people in my life who are so supportive and encouraging and want to see me do well is all that I've ever wanted in my life. I never had that before. The people who truly believe in me are actually not family. They're actually my friends or my best friends. And that is just the most precious thing to have. And I know that my followers, you out there, have been really supportive and really encouraging to me. And you inspire me every day. I meet people every day. I see people every day. I'm out in the public, general public, or I'm just doing my own thing, and I meet someone new, and I'm creating those connections. That means the world to me when I get to, get out and talk to people, and really just, it's not necessarily knowing their story or their backstory, but it's knowing that you can have that sense of connection with someone and really and help embrace that and encourage others, because I too was there, and now I'm just talking in circles. Sometimes I do that. I am a little goofy. Can you tell? I'm a little goofy, but all in all, you know, like I said, I didn't have that sense of direction. I didn't have those goals or plans 20 years ago. And being where I am now and having my life in full circle and sharing it with those who I just love so dearly, my best friends and my extended families, those are the people who keep cheering me on. And you, the followers, like I said, you are the ones who have been really supportive, and I can't thank you enough for that. And you know who you are out there, and I appreciate you more and more every day because of that. And being here and giving you the backstory a little bit, I went through a lot in my private life and in my personal life. And I lost myself along the way. When I was in my 20s were probably the worst years of my life. And I wrote a lot. I wrote considerably a lot. And that led up to my very first book, The Poetry Diaries, published in 2013. Actually, the first two were published in 2013 that are in this series. And it really took hold of me. And I remember now more than I ever have. And I remember all of the things that I went through. And I remember just not me being who I am. I had to learn a lot about myself, not just on an emotional level, but on a physical note or a mental note of that. I went through, and I don't know, but if you've read the my debut novel, Revelations on Mental Health, The Spoken Truth, my story comes out a little more in that on mental health issues and, you know, suffering with depression for 3 years, and also coming to discover the anxiety disorder that I have. That took a considerable weight off my shoulders when I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder, because I did not know what it was that I had. And now that I talk out and speak out about it, I'm hoping that I can shed some light in someone's life, knowing that they're not alone and they can too have that voice and speak up. It's hard for people, and I remember being that way at one time. But knowing that I can give someone that sense of peace and that sense of hope um, really means a lot to me, knowing that I can be there for somebody if they're having a hard time. And I pray for people a lot. And when I found, I wouldn't say found my calling, but when I learned what my God-given purpose was in this world, everything changed. It changed so drastically. And now that I share this more with you, and knowing that you have been rallying behind me and being supportive in the way that you have been, it's easier for me to come out a little more about it. Not just in my writing, but speaking up about it in a lot of ways. And not just behind the computer. You know, when I do author events, which is very seldom, and I try to work that into everything else that I do in my projects and in my writing as well. You know, doing the videos. I remember the 2 seasons of the web series, and I'm still contemplating the 3rd season, actually. So there will be some news coming up in January about that, hopefully. Late December, early January. So hopefully I'll come back with a new season of that. All the changes that are happening. And I'm trying to make this short. I don't want to go beyond my 10 or 15 minutes, but there's a lot that I wanted to address today in this testimonial video. So there are a lot of things going on, and now I'm getting talked to and all this other stuff going on. When I talk to someone very close to me, my spirits are eased a little bit more better with all the other directions and changes and being full circle in my life, and having that really really gets to me sometimes, and I try not to overthink about it, because I am an overthinker, and it happens. And that's why I'm a writer. uh, I'm glad and happy that I independently self-published. Best decision I ever made in my life, and I continue to uh, do my own thing and not compromise myself to fit in. I'm not the kind of person that likes to follow a trend. I'm not that kind of person, and I never will be. Um, what you see is what you get from me. So I know I did a lot of back talk and a lot of rambling, and some of it didn't make sense. Maybe it does. I don't know. But sometimes I don't make sense when I talk either. So that's just part of my disabilities a little bit. Sometimes I rush through talking in my videos or in my testimonies, and but at the end of the day, I know I'm supposed to be here, and I'm supposed to be here for you, and not just for myself. It's for you and for other people around me. Like I said, everybody inspires me in one way or another, and I'm very, very blessed to be where I am at in my life and serving the community of Hartville and Stark County. And it really keeps me humbled, keeps me grounded. It reminds me of my upbringing in a countryside, rural town, so to speak, of Hartville. So, um, what more can I say? But a little more about that backstory. It all comes out in poetry format. It all comes out in testimonies, devotionals, the scriptures that just pop out and that make sense throughout the book or books that in this series. And then the next book that will be released next spring will have a little more about me and who I am and where I'm coming at in my life. And, at the age of 39, you learn a lot more about yourself. You go through trials and challenges, as a teenager and into your adulthood. You learn a lot. And some people do, and some people don't. It's just human nature. And I want to thank you all for always tuning in. And I'll see you all again soon.